loves, welcome to Fifth Dimension. So for today's pick a card, we're actually going to choose between these three decks, and I'm going to be pulling some messages to take a reflection on your journey this far and any guidance that may be offered in the cards today, okay? So I'll go ahead and see you at your piles. Hi, pile number one. If you chose this deck right here, then you're at the right place. Let's go ahead and take a look at your oracle cards that I shuffled and received off camera. So you have the card of courage, the card of journey, the card of fire, new moon in Aries, it's time to take action. We have earth magic, and we have the card of falling. Okay, so what I can see thus far is that your journey has been filled and fueled by a lot of passion and ambition. There's a lot of momentum already gathered to have pushed you to where you find yourself currently, which I feel not necessarily a crossroads, but it could be a place of a crossroads where there is decisions to be made, changes that are occurring, that are pushing you in a different direction than you've currently been on a different path slightly. It feels brand new, but it feels like there's been a lot leading up to this point. It feels like your journey has been filled with a lot of scary decisions. And what I mean by scary is things that required you to step out of your comfort zone, required a lot of courage, that you may have found yourself not being clear about, but felt the need to push yourself through anyways. If you'll notice that there's like the little soft light of guidance, just following your intuition, following the little step that appears before you and trusting that. And I feel like that required you gaining a lot of strength and trust within yourself to be able to make the steps necessary. With the card falling, the messages on the bottom say the unknown, descent, momentum, and change. So again, I will say that I feel like where you find yourself today is almost extremely opposite from where you may have been when you first began what one would consider their spiritual journey, right? A lot of seeds planted. I feel like you're in the process of, you've laid out a foundation for something to grow. But it does feel new in the beginning stages, the little seedling. Perhaps you're in a situation where there's a little bit of I was going to say uncertainties, and I was going to say unclear at the same time. So where things may not be showing, you may not be able to see what may feel like progress or what may feel like movement or growth or success, whatever that is to you. But I can assure you that the energy feels like what needed to be nourished in the foundation is. And although like it's like the plant, right? I always give that example, but it's really the best example to give when it comes to life and these types of things, that we have expectation to see something in the physical in order to feel like, oh, okay, this is where I'm at. Oh, okay, I'm doing good, or I'm moving forward, or like little milestones that we hit. And I feel like you're in the in between right now, where maybe there's a little bit of sense of not being able to see quite yet the full picture, but also not being able to see the fruits of your labor. In some cases, this may cause some sort of hesitation, some sort of inaction. The best example I can give is, for example, my channel. Recently, I decided to come back and start doing readings, and although I still feel conflicted because I want the channel to progress versus just being pick a cards and general guidance, I want to be able to grow it in a way. I just don't really know what direction I want to take that in, so I've not taken any steps to change it besides just trying to get myself back on a schedule. So maybe this is the example I'm giving, that although I may not see any growth in my channel, any more viewers than a year ago, I've already put a lot into getting used to recording myself, getting used to a little routine of how I do my setups, how I, record, edit, post, descriptions, thumbnails, all of that stuff. I've gained a decent foundation in the ability to do that versus when I first started and knew nothing, right? Was going from nothing to some sort of experience, some sort of knowledge where I'm at right now. Now, there's no guarantee of any growth there for me, but I have enough momentum there that as long as I keep taking those actions, I have full faith that eventually the channel will begin to grow again, and that hopefully in that process I will figure out how to shape it towards what feels right, okay? And that's the best example I can give. If there's something that you've been putting energy into that you can't quite see it bringing results, I strongly feel the guidance to continue to take the actions despite that, okay? This is the time to push the energy in a focused direction, with full trust and faith. Although there's not a lot to see and not a lot of clarity, the momentum behind you and the pushing, the fueling force towards where you're headed is very strong. I can say that for sure. And it feels very grounded. It feels like the structure is solid. Okay? So I definitely want to encourage you towards continuing taking the steps, including the scary things that feel different, that feel like you may be falling into more uncertainties. The further and further steps that you take, you may still feel like you're not getting any clarity or feeling any more comfortable in what you're doing, which I kind of do. I can relate to that. Let me go ahead and pull some messages for you in regards to your journey. Messages for pile number 1 in regards to their current journey. So we have the 7 of Swords, carrying a burden. That's what the message. It feels like you're carrying a burden of something. Hold on. The burdens of the past. Distracting. I feel like that may be the energy of what may be bringing some fog. There's a good amount of energy in your thoughts that feels like it's being pulled back by the past or being disillusioned by past experiences. Okay, then we have card number 3 of Cups. Collaboration is what I'm getting from that. And I feel like that is guidance. When in doubt, seek others who are in similar frequency. And through collaboration, if this just means throwing ideas around together, can actually ignite or give you some information that you had not brainstormed yet and help you along the way, okay? Then we have the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, that's that solid foundation that I said. You've laid out, even if you feel completely unclear of what you even want out of life, but you know the energy about what you want out of life. You know what you want it to feel like, okay? Because I feel like that may be something. You feel like you need to decide something, but there's a confusion about what steps to take because you're unsure which direction you want to head. Only take that if it resonates. But I feel like you've laid out a decent, solid foundation for yourself. That it's like there's so much momentum behind it that the universe has no choice but to begin to materialize it out for you, okay? So hopefully that will ease any doubts that you may have about the steps that you are currently taking in life, about where you're choosing to place your energy. But yeah, let me get you some animal guidance cards and then we'll close off your reading for today. Pile number 3. I feel like there's a real maturity in this new version of yourself. Like I feel like you're really growing into the trust and the credit that you give to yourself for how far you've come. Pile number 1. Give me 2 more, please. This one. Pile number 1. Animal guidance cards for pile number 1 in your journey. Okay. So we have the Seahorse Spirit, watch and wait. Yeah, that aligns. Then we have the Stag Spirit, take the lead, that also aligns right here. It's time to take action, take the lead. So to continue taking the actions, and you are the leader. It's only for you to decide when to take the next step, okay? But I do feel like there needs to be a strong sense of holding yourself accountable. For example, if you are your own boss, and so you can get away with whatever you want, right? This is just an example. But like needing to be like, no, 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 even though it's me that I am guiding, I need to be a little bit more firm with myself on structure is what it's feeling like. And then we have card number 5, Bat Spirit, a rebirth is assured. And that's what this all feels like with these 2 cards. Being on the way somewhere, like I said, it feels like you're transitioning, coming from some place that's now different than where you're headed, whatever that may be, however that may apply, okay? And then with the earth magic, I was feeling that there's new seeds that have been, not new seeds, because I feel like you've been putting intention towards where you want to be for a while now. But it definitely feels like where you're headed is definitely it's a new start, a new place that you've not journeyed before, okay? So I wish you all the best of luck on that pile number 1. If this message did resonate with you, please let me know. I always appreciate a like, comment, anything. I'll take anything. Until we vibe again. Hi, pile number 2. If you chose this deck right here, then you're at the right place. I already pulled your oracle cards, so let's go ahead and take a look at them. We have the card Great and Full, Patience, Cardinal Moon, be bold and make the first move, the Staff, ooh, I like that. We have It's Always Tea Time, and then we have Unleash Your Creativity. Your journey towards fulfillment is what I'm getting. Through creativity, through taking a stand, standing in your own power. I feel like that is what your current journey is, the journey towards fulfillment. But it feels also slightly internal, because it does feel external as far as like the outside things that are, you're slowly, like I see a space, and then I see you slowly like decorating it, adjusting things. I see it more and more growing into something that's very unique and special to you. And that feels internal and external. I feel like that's where your journey's been taking you. To allow yourself to create a space for you that feels safe, that you've had to create for yourself, that you've always wanted to experience, but it took you taking matters into your own hand in order to actually build and see it and feel it. And I feel like that's where you're at in your journey. It feels there's a lot of strength. Be bold and make the first move. And then the staff. This is like both the energy of take charge, right? Taking charge of your life is what it's like. You were the creator. I hear that. I am the creator of my own reality. And really standing strong in that, which may mean that you've had to assert yourself, however that applies. But I feel like a little bit of no, like I'm standing firm on this is this and that is that. I feel that energy from you, like no wavering. And I appreciate that energy. It's a good energy to be able to, it's like a no nonsense type vibe. Like I don't have time for that. Something like that. Okay, then we get into the middle, which is screaming at me to give attention to it. Okay, we have the card of patience, and then we have underneath it, it's always tea time. On it, it says eternity, endless moments, and repetition. Endless moments. So what this is strongly giving me is the message of enjoying the fruit as it's ripened, enjoying the process of growing your own fruit, and allowing it to just enjoy each day the differences. And what I'm seeing like in my mind is I had a plant. Her name was Sunny, and she was grown last year from one of those giant sunflowers that we pulled over on the side of the road on a road trip and took one. Well, then we harvested the seeds and I planted several of them and only one grew. And that was so special to me because out of all those seeds, only one grew, right? So every day I was photographing her like she was a baby, right? Because she would have so much growth. She was one of those big sunflowers. And so every day I loved to go out and water her and see what was different, what was, about her. And being able to enjoy that all the way to the process to where she finally got tall enough and sprouted her own beautiful little head. The needing to take time and patience to allow things to mature in your life. I feel like that may be the only little like snag in being able to feel fulfilled in this current moment, in the present, pile number 2. There's a bit of impatience. There's a bit of like, I want to see the sunflower already. And the guidance is to enjoy the process of the nurturing, of the growth, of the acknowledging each step and honoring each step as if it were already the fulfillment, if you will. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Let me get some tarot cards for any more specific messages about your journey and where you find yourself. I get 3 cards for pile number 2. Anything you need to know about their current journey. Yeah, pile number 2, I definitely feel like patience is something that's been maybe like one of your challenges on your journey, is being patient, not only with yourself, I feel, because sometimes I feel like there's a lack of patience with yourself, but also like with the outside world. Let me get 2 more, please. So the first one out we have is the King of Wands. Fiery, that passion, that, again, it's giving that staff energy, like this one right here. Is just like, I know what I want and I want it now. That's sort of that's sort of the vibe it's giving with the King of Wands. And then we have the Page of Wands. And then we have the 4 of Cups. So again, that's where I feel like there's a sense of certain inaction. Not inaction. Dissatisfaction. I don't know why I said inaction. Maybe. Maybe that means something. Maybe there's been inaction in some sense. But I sense some sort of frustration over it. There's definite dissatisfaction with... Let me get more. Clarify the 4 of Cups, please. With the 2 pages here, that's what it's giving me. Like you're wanting something to mature. And again, that's going to connect with the energy. You're wanting something to mature or materialize. But it's already at pace. It's already in motion. There's no rushing the process of something. So the needing to apply more patience into it whenever you feel that sense of frustration. And that, again, I feel like for some of you, it's like frustration with outside circumstances, impatience with wanting things to change a little bit faster for you. But then for some of you, I feel like it's internal. Like there's a lack of patience with yourself for some reason. When it comes to the steps that you're taking currently in your journey. And maybe it's because you're being hard on yourself. That's what I'm getting. Let me get you some animal guidance cards. Let's talk a little bit about these cards over here. The Great and Fool, unleash your creativity, and the King of Wands. I think it's important for me to mention, it feels like proud. Like you should be proud of yourself. You should be proud of yourself for taking a stand and filling your own cup every single time outside circumstances left it dry. You didn't wait around. You did not wait around for that cup to come, for someone or something outside of you to come. You began to just fill it yourself. You began to find ways, creative ways in some sense, to be able to find your own fulfillment within you. And I think it's just in doing things that you feel passionate about in life with the King of Wands energy. So I do want to just mention that the energy feels like very celebratory coming from your guides. Like, hey, we're proud of you. You should too be proud of who you are, okay? Specifically when it comes to that, what I said, the self-nourishment, the not needing to wait around and understanding that you have the power to do that on your own. All right. Oh, those were quick. Let me get one more. Okay. All right, so your animal guidance cards, we have the dolphin spirit, this and that are true. We have the sandpiper spirit with be playful. I love that. And then we have act as if with chameleon spirit. I feel like both of these carry the similar energy. That there's not only one way to go about things, first of all, but there's also not one specific thing that you're supposed to be doing. If maybe that's where the frustration is coming from. That to allow ease in how things, I don't want to say end up, but how things unfold. Yes. Keep assuring to yourself, because I feel like there's some looking outside of you for something. Because although we have over here the sense of, oh, I'm fulfilled, I can do this on my own, then there's also a little sense of like, wait, but there's also something outside of me that I feel like I don't have, that where I'm lacking. And I feel like perception is everything in regards to, if this is resonating with you, whatever came to your mind when I said that, there's a dissatisfaction with how something's not being filled for you, that you feel it needs to come from the outside in. Remind yourself that perception is everything, and to assume that things are not going your way or unfolding as you want them to, flip that perception, okay? To be able to flip that perception. Although I cannot see things like I would like to see them being played out, I trust that they are still unfolding for me as I would like them to, or as I intended, okay? So that is your guidance pile number 2. I hope I was able to offer you something that resonated and or helped in some way. If these messages resonated, I appreciate if you'd give me a like, comment, anything. I'd appreciate it. Till we vibe again, loves. Hi, pile number 3. If you chose this deck, then you're at the right place. I've already chosen your oracle cards, and your pile had the most because you had several doubles from decks. So let's go ahead and take a look at your cards. We have broken open, spirit of gratitude, a personal issue reaches resolution, door to spirit, beauty way, ooh, help from above, pay attention to signs, and nonsense. Wow, that is very interesting that several of these cards carry very similar energy. So it feels like it's doubling down on some messages here. So broken open, door to spirit. You've definitely been pushed into, I don't want to say spiritual awakening, because we all experience different types, but also different levels. And for some of us, it's like one big one. For some of us, it's like multiple different ones at different points in our lives. So that's going to apply to everybody differently, right? But it does feel like something internal. This could have been a release of something. This could have been some type of closure that you received. This could have been something, it just feels like a weight that is lifted. A weight that is lifted and allowed you to feel free. It also feels like expansion. It feels like a big expansion, almost like a boom, like instantly. Insight, It may have been an experience that you've recently had, or that just takes the lead on where you're at in your journey, because it may be the fueling force behind your journey right now is this momentum of what I feel like is like a whoa, like something just expanded, some sort of insight, some sort of experience, something that made you shift immediately. It's like you changed overnight, is sort of what the energy feels like. Like when this happened, whatever this was, and it could have been like a long time coming, like something that you were processing and dealing with for a long time, and then all of a sudden you just reach a point where you were able to dissect it in a way that you see everything differently. It changed something for you completely, okay? And then you have this energy right here of blooming, beauty, weight, and spirit of gratitude. I feel like there is a lot of gratitude in your energy. Where there may have been, you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing like gray, like a black and white film, like things being gray and not in color. And then all of a sudden there's this like burst that shifts, and now it's just like everything's just, the experience of everything is, okay, it's kind of giving like near-death experience. Like everything is just so, there's so much more appreciation. There's so much more appreciation because there's such gratitude for being able to experience the simplest of things. And that may be what happened. Please let me know if that's the situation. That's interesting to me because I've never gotten that in a reading. But it sort of feels like that. And that would do it, right? A near-death experience would immediately shift your whole life completely. But this new shifted energy, and then we have like the little dark cards over here. Let's take a look at that. A personal issue reaches resolution and then help from above. So yes, like it was something orchestrated. It's almost like you were asking, you were seeking either change or guidance, or I don't know. Again, I'm feeling that vibe of like everything's black and white. It's very dreary. It feels like muddy almost. You know what I mean? Just difficult to move through that energy, and that may be something that you had been experiencing. This could have been depression. It feels like that. It could have been depression that you were experiencing, some type of mourning or grief over an experience that felt like it almost was lasting way too long, that it was becoming unbearable. But things orchestrate, like the universe, it feels like puzzle pieces moving, shifting, like one of those rubrics. Things aligning themselves in order, and this feels like divine. It feels like there was some sort of divine intervention to shift out of that vibe, out of that energy. Okay? And then what's the last little? We have pay attention to signs and nonsense. It's time to talk sense. It feels like your guides have been trying to get your attention. And you've been like, yeah, no, not right now, I'm busy. Something that you're being guided to do. Something that you're being guided to pay attention to. That you're kind of resisting, or like yeah, that's what it feels like. Like you're trying to avoid. There's something you're trying to avoid, and it's just like, no, let's not avoid that right now. You know what I mean? I don't know what that is for you, but let me go ahead and get some cards. Let me get some tarot cards to further clarify any messages that need to come through for pile number 3 in regards to their current journey. One more, please. Oh, I guess 2 more. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands. Love that for you. The Lovers. The Devil. The Seven of Cups. Yes. Okay, so something that's distracting you. I'm going to move here first, okay? And then I'll get to this energy. This that your guides are trying to get your attention on, there's something that needs to, they're like, okay, this is all good. We enjoy that for you, but there's something here on the side that we've been trying to get you to listen to, get you to focus on, get you to acknowledge, get you to change, get you to look into, something like that, okay? With the Devil here and the Seven of Cups, it's giving distraction. So this could be as simple as you've been distracted and we've been trying to get you to just focus and put energy into something, but you've been spreading energy somewhere else. But this could also be thoughts that you're being guided to, thoughts or feelings, I'm gonna say thoughts or feelings that you're being guided to acknowledge and redirect. Your past, something about your past that's calling you back. I don't know what that, I only take that if it resonates. But there's a strong acknowledgement on that. Let me get one more card. The Three of Cups. For me, what it's giving is that there's something that needs to be like, is that closure? Something that needs to be left behind, acknowledged, honored, but like put to rest. Because I know the Three of Cups, but okay, so what it's giving me right now, this specific card, what it's giving me in the messages right now is like toasting to honor something. To honor something, and then it's because it's in the middle of the night, it's giving me something that may be like things within yourself that may need to, maybe it could even be like your former self, like perception of former self, or even just ways that you used to go about living your life that you just don't identify with. It could be that, like being able to honor like previous version of yourself and say like, you know, give it like give yourself grace for whatever may have happened previous, because it may feel like it feels like a little dark energy. So I don't know what that is. It's just something that you probably don't like to think about, and it could be something that maybe you're not proud of, something that you may be ashamed of, to being able to just say, that's no longer who I am. So I can acknowledge out loud that whatever it is, the situation, you know what I mean? I can acknowledge it. So just acknowledging it and then honoring it as no longer who you are, okay? And then, and again, only take that if it resonates. And then we have the Queen of Wands and the Lovers over here. For some of you, this is internal, obviously. Feeling whole, where you may have felt like part of you was empty. Coming to a place, or if you're not there yet, then moving into a place where you feel whole. But the Queen of Wands, again, it's giving that like beautiful energy that I said, like there's such gratitude, and it carries in your energy. It's what I said. It felt light. It felt like high frequency. It feels like you're very high frequency right now in this part of your journey, okay? There's a lot of like creative potential here. I'm getting like a focus on the sacral chakra. So those are it's very fiery. So the potential for creation, and this could include if it's like, if the Lovers is representing harmony in a relationship on this part of your journey, if that's how it resonates with you, then again, the energy for like, it doesn't have to be creating a baby, right? But it could be, but like that creative fire within the relationship, to just experience and create the life that you want to create together, to experience beautiful things and harmonious times is what it feels like. It feels like you're moving out of something and into something just much more pleasant, much more vibrant in life, okay? Pile number 3. Let me go ahead and get you some animal guidance cards. Wait. Animal guidance cards for pile number 3, please. I know, I felt like I was all over the place with your reading, pile number 3, so. As always with any reading, only take what resonates. And if any messages did resonate with you, I appreciate you letting me know. Give me a like, a comment, anything. Let me get 2 more, please. There we go. Okay, so first one showing itself, we have Groundhog Spirit, time to let go. Yes, that was this. That was this. Whatever that, if this message resonated with you about something needing to be like let go with honor. Then we have Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. And then we have Ant Spirit, time to collaborate. Yes. Beautiful little messages that both resonate with where you are right now. There's a lot of creative potential. So taking steps, moving pieces, you'll be seeing growth, you'll be seeing movement, you'll be seeing results with the way the energy feels, okay? It's very potent, it's very fiery, so good outcomes in regards to any decisions that you're making currently in your journey. Pile number 3, I hope these messages resonated. Until we vibe again.